Good morning, everybody. Nice Sunday morning. Big slate of games today. It is March 8th already. And this is Don Ricci. I'm here with Dutch Boy Fresh. And we're going to tackle a few NBA games and a few college games. This NBA schedule today is a couple nice games going on. And we know with college basketball, this is the week, man. Conference tournaments start this week. I'm thinking about maybe hitting that Big East tournament game on Thursday at Madison Square Garden. But anyhow, it's going to be a good week for sports, that's for sure. Last 10, 15 games of hockey, a lot of playoff implications. But we're going to start off with Dutch Boy Fresh. We're going to start off with the NBA. And good morning, Dutch. How you doing out there in Las Vegas?
I'm doing good, Dom. How we doing, boss?
I'm doing good, brother. Turning the clock ahead an hour screwed me up a little bit this morning, but we're ready to rock and roll.
Up early to get that money, though. Nothing stops us, right?
That's it, man. We can't stop.
Yes,
we can't stop. We got to keep on plugging, man. That's for sure.
Yes, sir.
So I know we talked a little bit already this morning, and I know that you have a couple of nice NBA bets in. This LA Lakers Clipper game is 3:30 Eastern time. Big game today, right?
Yes, sir. It's a very big game. I'm very heavy on the Clippers today. Now it's -2.5. It's a big game, obviously, like we mentioned. If you look at the numbers are almost equal. They're both, went 5-1 in the last 6 ATS. Everything kind of equals up. They're both great teams. To me, the Clippers are just better. They match up great with them. Patrick Beverley is going to be a problem for them offensively and defensively, I believe. And then, of course, they have the Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, and so on and so on. I think the Lakers, coming off that huge win against the Bucks, are going to slip up. Yeah, big win. Yeah. A letdown spot here today. I see the Clippers rolling. I mean, I backed them big against the Rockets. They just turned the page. It's another level right now. This ain't the Clippers we've been watching all year. If you've seen them the last 3 or 4 games, maybe even 5 or 6, you've seen they flipped the switch. So I see this being an easy, 7-8 minimum point win. So the 2.5 to me is very juicy.
Yeah, I tell you, what caught my eye a little bit is the way the Clippers have been playing defensively. I mean, the Rockets are a big-time a scoring team, and they held them to, 99 points or something that last game?
Yeah, absolutely.
They've allowed 99.5 points per game through their last 2. Oh, that's what it was. It was the average for the last 2 games. But one of them being the Rockets. I mean, they held that team down. I mean, this total is at 225. The first thing I caught my eye was that under. You know me, I always go to the totals first. But
right.
You have any,
I'm the total opposite, but we're good.
You have any thoughts on that total, the 225? I love your look on the Clippers, though. I love that look.
Nice. Well, to be honest with you, I would go in the under on this look. I don't have a play either side, but this is playoff basketball. The Clippers are in playoff mode. That's why they locked down the Rockets. They're the best team defensively. They're the best team, period, in the NBA, in my opinion. But I don't think we can argue that they're the best defensive team in the NBA.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, perimeter-wise, they'll lock you down. Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, and Patrick Beverley. It doesn't get any better than that. Those 3 guys can shut down anybody. And then they also are very deep, so they. When they're on the court, they're not tired. They got Lou to come out. They're just so deep, so strong. They're on another level to me than the Lakers. I know the Lakers can beat anyone any night. They're a great team, but
of course
the Clippers just obviously match up. Yeah, it's the NBA, but like I mentioned, so we know how the NBA works. But this is a Clippers spot here. It's a letdown spot for the Lakers, and the Clippers will roll today. The over/under, I would lean towards the under simply because, like I mentioned, this is playoff intensity basketball. I always lean under when it's at that point.
Yeah, I hear you. We have a couple of guys already joining us in the chat, and our buddy Ralph Portnoy is on the Clippers on the 226. Ralph, the big NBA capper. He's on. I always call you guys the young guns. He's more on my side.
I was gonna say he's an OG in this too.
Of the low band crew, that's for sure.
You took the words out of my mouth, Dom.
That's it, man.
And I see the real OG in there too. Also, Doc's in there too. Shout out to Doc.
Yep. And Joey Works in the chat. Lemmy for Life is in the chat. From where's he? He's from KSA. My name is Lemmy. How are you? Welcome in, Lemmy Life.
My man.
Yes. If you don't know, our Twitter's, catch up with us on all, these are all our Twitter names. And if you're not following us, give us a follow. And we just hook you right into this crew that we have, just trying our best to crush the books. What's the next game you're on? You mentioned something before that. You did mention that you bet a game early last night. You bet the Magic, or was it who'd you bet last night?
Yes, well, I actually placed both bets on the Clippers last night, as well as the Magic. Now the Magic is more of a spot play against the Rockets. I got it at 9.5. I might look right now at Willie. It's 8.5. I believe most other spots it's down to 8. I don't like that Evan Fournier's out, but I just back-to-back for the Rockets. The Magic are gritty. They've actually are. Let's see here, just to make sure I get this correct. They're 6-1 in their last 7 against the spread, or excuse me, 6-4 ATS in the last 10. And they've just been, gritty. They've actually played very well team basketball. Not as much on the defense. They're giving up a lot of points, which is surprisingly, but they've actually lost quite a few players as well. But 9.5 to me was definitely a spot to jump on. The Magic, obviously, the Rockets can turn it on and blow anybody out. But coming off a back-to-back, I don't expect them to lose the game, but I do expect the Magic to be in the game. I really like the 9.5. I think we might have maybe missed it at the 8.
Yeah, I'm saying 8 now, but yeah.
You
got a great number.
Yeah, I like the 9. It jumped out, and it's more based off of the Rockets than the Magic, honestly. They lost coming off of a loss to the Bobcat or to the Hornets yesterday. I didn't see that coming. I thought the Rockets would bounce back. So I'll probably just be in fade mode a little bit to the Rockets until they show me different.
Yeah, I got you, man. I noticed something about the Magic. They're 12-20 on the road, but ATS they're 18-13-1. So that just goes to show you that they're covering these point spreads. They're not winning, but they're covering these point spreads. You hit that nail on the head.
Let me get this out, Dom, because it's early out here on the West Coast, so I had to write the stuff down. I got my notes mixed up. Magic, Mavs look somewhat the same.
Right.
Forgive me for that. So the Magic are 6-1 in the last 7 ATS. The Rockets are 2-4-1 in the last 7. So the numbers back up the play as well. And they've actually lost. And they actually lost their last 3 in a row. The Rockets. So those are the numbers to get it out there. My fault.
I see them as 15-15 at home against the ATS. So
exactly. Yeah,
right.
So when I see the 9.5, the Magic are alive against anybody, to be honest with you, unless we're talking about the Clippers or something. So, yeah, I just wanted to make sure we get those numbers straight. We know how,
No, I hear you. No, you got it right, though. That's a great look on Orlando for sure, without a doubt. So since we're confusing Magic and Mavs, let's go to the Mavs.
Yeah, see, that was the second play I was going to go to. I do like the Mavs. All right,
Go ahead, brother.
So right now with the Mavs, against the Pacers, I think Warren's out. Oladipo is still a game time decision. If he plays, it doesn't matter to me. I actually would probably like him to play because they just don't seem to play too good a team ball when he's out there. Also, Brogdon's out. Now I know Seth Curry's out for the Mavericks as well. Tim Hardaway's a game time decision, but as long as Luka and Porzingis is in there, we'll be all right. The line's -6.5. I recommend jumping on that. They are in as well at home. A lot of people like them first half as well. I'm going to go full game -6.5 just because the Pacers can be gritty. But I don't see them showing up the full game. So Mavericks -6.5 is a solid look for me as well.
Head-to-head, Pacers and Mavs head-to-head. Pacers are 1-5 against the spread the last 6 meetings. And the over is 5-1 in the last 6 meetings in Dallas.
Yeah, the over. I would lean the over, but that's more your lane, my man.
Yeah.
The Mavs are 6-4 in their last 10 ATS. The Pacers are 4-6-1 in their last 11 ATS. So, and I'm mainly just going off of eye test on this as well. The Mavericks are just a better team. The Pacers, I don't know what's going on with them. They lost Lamb.
Yeah.
Now they're losing Warren. Ever since Oladipo came back, that team hasn't been the same. I lost a lot of money on them right before the All-Star break.
Sometimes teams
we'll get it back today, though.
Playing as a team. They don't gel. A certain player comes back, and sometimes it screws up the chemistry, and things like that happen. I know our friend Big Maestro 68, or is it Mastro? He's on Boston. He's on the Lakers and the Bucks. They all win and cover, he says today.
My
That
man,
Celtic game,
yeah.
Celtic game is a great game, right? Thunder at Celtics, 6 o'clock tonight. Boston -4 over and under 219, which went up from 217 actually. But what you'll look, I know you have that Celtic. Let's show the people your Larry Bird here, brother.
Man. We'll
That's a real
stand
ball
up a
player
little bit
right
for
there.
it. You know, we'll show him a
That's
little bit of
it.
love. Yeah, the Bird. Hey,
I love Larry.
We rock the Bird for the early Bird. We're up here early getting that money, right?
Yeah,
all right, so
that game.
yes, sir. I'm the Celtics -3.5. I jumped on that. Now the Celtics are 6-2-1 in their last 9 ATS. OKC's 1-5 in their last 6 ATS. Jaylen Brown's out for the Celtics.
Right.
So, but they're deep. Hayward's back there. Smart's going. Kimba's back. And, of course, my man Tatum's back. So as long as he's out there and he's got at least Smart or Kimba to rock with him, I'm going to go ahead and rock with the Celtics at home. OKC, they're a good team. I made a lot of money off the Thunder this year. Not recently, as I just told you, 1-5 ATS in the last 6.
Yeah,
but when it comes to it comes to the Celtics at home, and only laying 3.5, give me that all day.
I think that line might be short because the Thunder's had some success in Boston. It's a little strange. Boston has done better against the spread in Oklahoma in OKC than they have at home, but they have the Thunder 1-4 against the spread the last 5 meetings against Boston, but 7-3 against the spread the last 10 meetings in Boston. So that might be a reason why that line might be a little low, that 3.5. And you know how these stats are 7-3 against the spread. That doesn't everybody's 7-3, then you got to go no. It could be 7-4 after today, or it could be 8-3. Just because sometimes those stats are misleading and stuff.
Yeah, and there's so much movement, and not even year to year, month to month nowadays in the NBA. I go mainly off of like the last 10, 5 to 6, 7, 8, 10 games. And with the Celtics, when they hardly play their guys. I mean, they have their lineup out almost every other game. So as long as they're going, they're a bet on team. But you got to watch out with the Celtics. If they're missing Tatum, Brown, or Kimba, 2 of those 3, you probably just want to stay off that game.
That opening line was at 5.
Yeah, I seen it drop. I'm all over the Celtics. So, I like it, boss. Hey,
the game ain't till 6 o'clock tonight. I'm wondering, you're seeing a 3.5 now, you said?
Yeah, I got 3.5 right now, Willie.
You got 3.5.
Actually, Willie's 4.
I almost wonder where to go. Yeah.
MGM's 3.5, excuse me.
Gotcha, man. Gotcha. I'm almost wondering if the line even goes down a little bit more to 3 today. That's something I could keep my eye on.
Yeah, you might be right on that. I mean, I'm sure it will probably go down. A lot of the sharps like OKC. I know that. I think this is. Yeah. I just like the Celtics at home with the low spread, as long as they're got somewhat of a full roster. Like I mentioned, Jaylen Brown's out, but they're actually pretty deep in the guard situation.
That's great. Look, you have any? So that was 4 games that you have. On for the NBA. Is that was that your looks?
Yeah, those are my 4 looks. I had the Raptors circled, but then I was starting to look into it. They're 1-4 in their last 5 ATS, 2-3 straight up. The Kings are late night game. The Kings coming off a back-to-back, coming from P-Town. 3-2 last 5 straight up, and 7-3. 4-1 straight up in the last 5, and 7-3 in the last 10 ATS. So the numbers just looked out to me. I think the Raptors obviously jump out to a lot of people. It is a Sunday, so we know how that works. I think the Raptors might be the one game I do stay off of. I'm hoping that's the that's the game that everyone gets trapped on, maybe. So hopefully it's not these other ones.
Kings 7-2 against the spread last 10 games. 7-2. 7-2-1, I guess.
Okay.
I got 7-3. And Toronto 4-6 last 10.
And they just haven't been playing. I mean, 1-4 in their last 5. I'm just like, man, if you can't cover it, I don't know. This is a spot where I feel like everyone that goes to the window or that's pressing submit is going to be on the Raptors, either money line or minus the 5.5. So sometimes at that point, I seem to kind of stay away. Now, it could be that way with the Mavericks as well. Obviously it could be any game, but I try to. On Saturdays and Sundays, there's usually one of those games that gets a lot of people in trouble. This could be that game, just simply by the numbers that I see. The numbers tell me not to bet the Raptors.
Right, I got you, man. And like I said, it's a late game, so there's always plenty of time to decide,
Yeah,
which way,
yes,
if you're going to
sir.
take it or not, or if you need to take it or not. Those are some great looks. There's also a lot of college basketball games in today. I haven't gone through the whole card. There's a big early game on Michigan, Maryland, that starts, I think, at noon. Um, if that's noon or is that 1 o'clock now? With the clock, I wonder how that is.
I believe it's a 9 o'clock tip my time. I think it tips off here in about 8 minutes, boss. I
Yeah,
seen
I
12, so
think
that'd be
so.
12 your time.
What'd you look on that game? I tell you, I've been going back and forth with that game with Michigan and Maryland. I know a bunch of people like Michigan. Just something about this game. I know Maryland hasn't played well lately, but I still lean Maryland here today, and I was almost leaning on the. I'm torn between the over 139 and the 4.5 points with Maryland. You have any look on that game? What do you got?
Yes, I did. I actually bet Maryland last night -4. Got off work, looked at it. I seen it, and I was like 15-1 at home. They've had some tough losses. It's a big win from them. It's senior night. Michigan 7-6 on the road. I'm not sold on Michigan from what I have seen of them this year. So I did fire a unit on Maryland. Then I wake up today and I see all these guys on Michigan. I start looking a little more into it, and now I'm like a little more hesitant. I believe it went to 4.5.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hearing people talk about Michigan and the line going the other way.
It went. So I feel like I'm on the right side, but am I as confident as I was last night when I pressed submit? Not as much. Your breakdown get me back where I need to be, dog.
these noon starts are tough sometimes. These are or the 9 a.m. starts. These are
man.
That's tough, especially this time of year with these kids playing a lot of basketball. I'll tell you, Maryland's ninth. They're ranked ninth. They're looking to claim a share of that, of that division. One thing about Maryland, man, stat I found this morning that I thought was interesting in the Big Ten since the 2017-2018 season, they've won 45 home games, and that's the best record out of any team in the Big Ten. I don't know how good that is in the country. That's a lot of wins since 2017 season.
Yeah, the Terps take care of business at home. That's a great stat, man. I like that. So that makes you feel a little bit better.
And I'll tell you something else that might make you feel better. The Wolverines have a great against the spread record. They're good off a win. They're good off against the spread wins. Like 4-1 after it's 4-1 straight up, and against the spread after a win. And they're 4-1 their last 5 on the road against the spread. But as a road underdog, 2-7 their last 9 as a road underdog, and 2-6 their last 8 against a team with a winning percentage, like 600 or so winning percentage, like Maryland. So the Wolverines haven't fared well against the spread in those situations, and they're up against both of them today.
Good competition, yeah. So those are great stats.
Am I talking myself into? Yeah, I'm talking myself into this.
You're right though about these early games, man. These 9 o'clock games, we're either going to be loving life by 11 or tilted by 11. I'm like, damn, I haven't even had lunch yet, and I'm already, I do like the Maryland play, especially after what you just told me. I liked it when I first looked at it, and those stats you just came with, I'm even more confident now. So I'll sit back and enjoy this 9 o'clock victory. Hopefully,
that's a good idea. With the early starts too, with totals, it's really the same thing. Are they going to be not playing defense, or are they going to be missing shots?
Right.
And that's sometimes But I really felt like the 139 was a little low. So I'm gonna have to make a decision within the next few minutes. But I did bet 2 college basketball games. I bet my boys who down the block from me, 2 miles away, Hofstra University. I love that team. I love the way they play ball. They're a scrappy team. They've been I love that team. And I took them in the first half today. They're playing Drexel. It was an 8-point spread. I took the first half at 4.5. And then I also took Tulsa plus 7.5. I think Tulsa's at Wichita State, and I honestly believe that Tulsa might be able to pull out this win. And I'm also thinking of, as my partner Big Ragu says, sprinkle a little on the money line if you're confident in your dog play. And out of all of them, I think Tulsa is one of those plays that I might be doing that. But I'll tweet that out if I do. That's a later game. Another game I was looking at was UConn -6.5. This time of
Huskies,
year,
huh?
UConn's one of those teams, man. This is their time of year. They
Right.
start, they know how to win this time of year, and I kind of like to look at teams like that. So those are the plays I put in. I put in Tulsa plus 7.5. I put in Hofstra minus 4.5 so far were the 2 plays I put in. And I'm
What
going to
time's
do
that?
something with this, man. The Tulsa game, I think, is 4 o'clock my time. It's later
Okay.
on.
So
Yeah,
1
you
o'clock.
got
Okay,
time.
so I got time looking at that
You
one.
got
That one
time.
sounds pretty solid. I'll look into that one for
All
sure.
right, man. Beautiful,
So
Dutch. I just wanted to jump on this morning. We don't make this a long thing. Let everybody get their plays in. And it's Sunday. Let's make some money. I didn't have a great day yesterday. I lost 2 games I lost the Baylor team total over by 1 point. I lost. There was another game too. I lost. It's one of those 1-point losses. Not that. Listen, same thing as a 20-point loss. A loss is a loss, but it just feels like I was on the right side. I just got a little unlucky. But Baylor's one of those teams, man, that's been falling apart the last few.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens, man. Anything can happen this week. Wednesday starts a lot of conference tournaments, so that should be good.
Right.
But let's run by your games quick. The games you're on in the NBA.
Okay, so I'm on the Clippers minus 2.5. I'm on the Mavericks minus 6.5. I jumped on the Magic last night at 9.5, but I don't believe that number's out there anymore. So, like I said, I don't know if I endorse the 8 as much.
No, I don't. I agree. Go ahead.
And then also the Celtics minus 3.5. I did want to, those are my plays. I did want to touch on yesterday real quick.
Go ahead.
I had the Utah came through for us pretty good, minus the 4 first half.
We got the first half, right? That was a nice pick.
And then they didn't cover the full game, so
no,
those
they just
ones make
missed
you
that
feel
cover.
real.
I was looking
I'm
at
sorry
that.
for.
Yeah,
go ahead.
You mentioned it. No, I remember you mentioned it yesterday on the show that you liked the full game, but you were a little bit worried about that number and why you went with the first half, and you were spot on that game. It was a great look.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Back to backs, I tend to lean more first halves.
Right.
So and Utah they kind of fall apart towards the bigger the moment. So first half no problem. I love that, but I did want to touch on the Tar Heels. Me and Ricky, that wasn't too good of a play. That just didn't work out too well for us.
They couldn't shoot at the end of the game. They couldn't shoot.
Yeah, they couldn't buy a bucket. I've seen it happen so many times. They just can't make a bucket. I'm like, they keep playing hard. They're going back, but they can't make a shot. And eventually, too much talent on the other side. So they pulled it off by 13. So it didn't cover that 11. But we'll get it back today, and make sure we see you at the window. That's for sure.
And I'll tell you one just quick thing about that game with North Carolina. They let Duke score 89 points. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
You can't just let Duke shoot, man. That's one thing Duke does. They can shoot the ball. I was mad that we didn't jump on that over. That over kept on going up, and it didn't matter. It went up from 150, 151 to 153, 154, whatever.
You said that too.
It didn't matter. I know. You hate when that happens.
And I was actually thinking the other way. I was completely off on that game. That's why I wanted to bring it up, just so I could take it on the chin real quick.
Hey,
but
man, that's what we do. We're transparent. We win. We win. We win. We lose together. So that's all. Right. That's what it's about, man.
Right.
But
we'll go 5-0 today. Get back on track.
That's it, baby. So listen, guys. Follow Dutch Boy Fresh on Twitter and follow myself at Dom541. We are the BetWise Sports Network. We will be coming to you as during the week. We have a lot of things going on, a lot of games going on. So stay tuned and like and retweet. All the use those thumbs and use those fingers. And we appreciate everybody coming on early in the morning. And have a great day. And like Dutch said, we will see you at the window. Have a good day.
Sure.